What's happening, guys? Back at you with another video, and in this video we're going to be reacting to a new trailer. So we got a trailer drop of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So I believe this movie is coming out in like August or September, around that time. So definitely excited for it. You know, anything Marvel, usually excited for it. So definitely need to check out this trailer and get my thoughts on it. So let's go ahead and get to it.
I gave you 10 years to live your life. Now you see me rise. And where did that get you? You walked in my shadow.
Oh.
I trained you. So the most dangerous people in the world could kill you. Son, it's time for you to take your place by my side.
Oh, we got him.
It's my time. That's not going to happen.
Oh, that's pretty good. Gonna be martial arts. We're bringing martial arts into the Marvel universe. Oh, oh wow.
You can't outrun who you really are.
Wow, this looks good. This looks good. I like the martial arts and all that. Oh,
Who are you?
yes. Martial arts bring it to the Marvel universe. Oh.
We make a good team.
Wow. Alright, so I gotta say it. That was good. I like that. I like that. So we're getting martial arts into the Marvel universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Definitely excited to see what they do with this. You know, bringing martial arts. You know, has always been a big impact in movies and all that too. So it'll be interesting to see how they develop that and adapt that to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and all that. You know, as far as Shang-Chi goes, I'm not super familiar with the character. I do know of the character, but I'm not super familiar with necessarily, I guess, his backstory and, you know, just his whole story in general. But from what I'm getting is, like, at least some of the couple of things I've read, they are changing it slightly a little bit. They actually are making the Mandarin. For those of you familiar with the Mandarin, he's kind of been in the backdrop of the Marvel Cinematic Universe since the first Iron Man movie. They're making the Mandarin his dad, his father. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes on with that. You know, we had like the, you know, it's the Legend of the Ten Rings. So we have the, you know, organization of the Ten Rings. That's been, like I said, since in the backdrop of the Marvel Cinematic Universe since the first Iron Man movie. You know, like, really, Mandarin has actually been off and on again villain to Iron Man. Why, that's the reason why we got him in Iron Man movies. And, you know, we got the Trevor Slattery, who played who was kind of the Mandarin, you know, the fake Mandarin in Iron Man 3. Which, one thing I wanted to notice, I actually said this back in like 2019, whenever Shang-Chi was first announced. I believe at San Diego Comic-Con 2019, I think that's when they announced it. I actually made the prediction that Trevor Slattery will either make an appearance or at least be mentioned in this movie. My thought process was, for any of y'all are familiar with the Marvel one-shots. They're like these mini small movies. They're like, not that long. They're a few minutes to 10 minutes long or so, like that. There's a couple of them that they released with the Marvel movies, stuff like that. There was one that they released that was called All Hail the King. Now I saw it, I believe, it came out like 2014 or 2015, around there. It shows continuations about 10 minutes long. It's a little continuation of Trevor Slattery. He actually goes to prison, and he's in prison and stuff like that. These people come and take him, and what one thing they were saying is like, are you ready to meet the real Mandarin? So that's one of my thought process, is that maybe Trevor Slattery will make a slight appearance in this, or at least be maybe somewhat mentioned, because of that Marvel one shot. They took him and they were like saying, you ready to meet the real Mandarin? So that's just my thought process on that. That maybe we could get him mention or appearance or something. So that's just my theory on that. But like I said, the Mandarin is going to be used as Shang-Chi's father in this movie, from what I was able to hear about it. So it would be definitely pretty interesting to see, like, martial arts, bring martial arts into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, it looks good, honestly. Like, just for judging from this trailer alone, it looks good. The fight scenes and stuff like that, some good action looks like it's gonna be going on. It looks pretty good as far as martial arts goes and all that, fight scenes and all that. So definitely excited to see how that will be incorporated in the movie, and definitely excited to see those scenes and all that. One thing I did notice in the trailer was, in the comics, the 10 rings is actually 10 rings. It's worn on one finger each of the Mandarin. He wears one ring on each one of his fingers. He has the 10 rings. And, they're literal rings. One thing I did notice was that it didn't really seem like he was wearing rings, but I did notice these bands that were on his arms. There was these bands on his arms, and it looked like it could have been 5 on each arm, So that's why I'm thinking that they kind of changed it a little bit, so it's not really rings anymore, but it might be bands instead that go on the arms. So that'd be cool. And one thing about the 10 rings is that each one of them has a unique power to it. There's 10 different rings, so that means there's 10 different powers. Each one has a unique power to it. So it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate that into the movie, or how they will adjust it and all that. So it'll be interesting to see that, how they do that. One thing that was kind of interesting that I noticed was that there was actually a couple of toy leaks. How for those that are familiar, like, that toy leaks go on for movies and stuff. A lot of movies, especially Marvel and like superhero movies, toy leaks are one of those things that just happens. One thing I noticed was they released a line of Funko Pops. One, and then also two, with the Lego pieces. That I noticed with the Lego pieces, there was a pop of a dragon, and there was also a Lego play set that had a dragon in it too. Now, this dragon is not named. That's one thing. It's just called the Great Protector. I think that's what's called, the Great Protector. At least that's what it said on the box of the pop that I saw. It's called the Great Protector, and it says the same thing for Lego. So we did get like an official name for it. But my theory, my thinking on this, thought process on this, is that dragon might actually be Fin Fang Foom. Now, for those of y'all familiar with Fin Fang Foom, is a character from the comics where he is like a dragon. Technically, he is an alien, shapeshifting alien, but he is a dragon of sorts too. Like, he sort of looks like a dragon and all that. So that is my thought process on this. Going off the toy leaks that I've seen, that the dragon might actually be Fin Fang Foom. Now, one thing I was thinking about also was that how they changed the 10 rings. Like, they're not rings no more. They're actually, if it is actually bands on the arms that they've been doing, my theory is, one thing I'm thinking about is that those bands are actually rings. They're actual rings still, but they could be like the rings that a dragon could probably wear. That's what I'm thinking. And if the dragon is Fin Fang Foom, then that could be like the actual rings that he could wear. So that'll be interesting to see if that comes true, if that's really what's going to happen or not. But that was just one thing I was thinking about, one thing I noticed too from stuff, and we'll see how it goes. So far the trailer looks good. Just going off the trailer, it looks pretty good and all that. So I'll be interested to see how this movie turns out. Bring martial arts and stuff like that into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm definitely excited to see that. I believe it comes out like September. I want to say September, but I'm not 100% sure. I gotta look at the release date again for that. But definitely interested in seeing this movie. Definitely excited for it. And it's pretty much Marvel, so I'm excited for anything that Marvel puts out. So hopefully it sticks with the release date. How everything's been being delayed and all that stuff. This movie was really supposed to come out last year. But we didn't get it really. Was it coming out last year? Is it coming out last year or supposed to come out this year? It might have been May this year, or yeah, around that time. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it sticks with the release date that it has. Definitely excited to watch it. So we'll see how it goes. But let me know down in the comments below if you have any thoughts on this movie or what you think of the trailer. I'd definitely like to hear from y'all. But that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Remember, if you want to be a part of Team Legendary, all you got to do is subscribe and turn notifications on so I post another video. Hope you all have an awesome day. And remember, be legendary.